and Congress leader to get a sense of where the Congress party stands and whether the Congress was willing to negotiate on its three crucial demands. The big one, of course, being that the 18% tax rate, if indeed it is 18%, that's the GST rate, should be included in the constitutional amendment bill. The Congress is demanding a capping of the GST rate. Let's take a look at the Congress party's demands and the government response.
Take the country into conference and tell us what the appropriate number is, and if we all agree, we can put that in the Constitution Amendment Bill.
So you will continue to hold out the demand that the rate be included in the Constitutional Amendment Bill?
Yes.
You're not going to, the Congress will not let go of that particular...
There's no reason to. You must tell me a reason why it should not be put in the bill.
I will give you the argument that is being made by the government, and I will quote the finance minister to you. In given exigencies, if the tariff has to be altered, you will then need two-thirds majority in both houses of parliament, and hence it is not prudent, he used the word preposterous yesterday, to include the rate in the constitutional amendment bill.
Wrong argument. If you have such a compelling case, Parliament will amend and increase the rate. Parliament is there for that. If the government makes out a compelling case why in extraordinary circumstances the 18% rate should be raised as a temporary measure or for a period of time, why do you say Parliament will not oblige you?
So if it's 18% but not in the bill, it will be a no-go as far as the Congress is concerned?
We are concerned about the tendency of governments. Take, for example, Income Tax Act. The old Act 1922 and then the next Act of 1961. The Parliament trusted the government and said, we're not putting any cap on the rate. At one point of time, the marginal rate of income tax went to 97.5%. Therefore, what is wrong in putting a cap? You have the Chief Economic Advisor's report, which is recommended, I'm told, 18%. World over it is 15 or 16. What we are worried is, if you don't put a cap, creeping increases in rate will come about because the states and the center will join hands and say, we need money for this, we need money for that. Look at the Swachh Bharat cess. Now, why do you add a 0.5% cess to an ongoing program which should be funded from revenues? Therefore, we think that, and industry agrees with us, that it's time to cap the power of executive government by putting a limit on the taxes. And then if there's an extraordinary circumstance, why do you believe that the executive government cannot convince Parliament? It's a business in a parliamentary democracy. It is a business of executive government to convince Parliament every day.
I guess what's going on in Parliament is what is forcing the government to pursue this line of thinking.
What is going on in Parliament is much of the government's own doing. It is the present government, it is the present party in government which advocated or propagated the theory that obstructionism is a legitimate parliamentary device. I opposed it then and I oppose it now.
Okay. Let me continue to talk to you about the GST and the other arguments that the Congress party has made. So if it is indeed 18% or lower, that of course is what the Congress party wants, but you do want the inclusion as far as the bill is concerned. We don't know whether the government will give in to that or not. On the specific issue as far as the 1% manufacturing tax is concerned, we are given to understand, and this is of course official sources, that there is a rethink on that, and that in fact may be reviewed in light of what the Congress is demanding. If that indeed happens, will you give in your support?
It's not the Congress alone that is demanding that. It's a universal demand. The 1% was originally justified because the states were not being compensated 100%. Once the states are compensated 100%, the justification for 1% goes. So the government should have, on its own, withdrawn this 1% rather than say we are giving in to the Congress party.
So if they give in to the Congress party, sir,
one of
you
our
will
demands.
Support it then?
One of our demands is accepted.
The three key demands, so this is the second one, and I'll come to the third in just a second. As far as the grievance redressal mechanism is concerned, the Congress is demanding statutory status.
No, that's not what we're demanding. We are demanding that the dispute resolution mechanism should not contain the disputants themselves.
Okay.
I thought that was elementary logic. The disputants cannot be the dispute resolution mechanism.
Right. So an independent mechanism is what the Congress
There has to be a mechanism outside the disputants' body.
Okay. So of these three demands, if they give in to at least two of the crucial...
We're not bargaining.
You're not bargaining. So it has to be three or nothing.
These three are logical demands. Either you convince me that these demands are wrong, or we convince you that the demands are right.
The former finance minister